Wine, what if Wang's already attacked June's? Alert tone. Wang abruptly stood up in fear and moved towards the door, but before she could exit, an army of guards entered the palace. She stood still in her place, looking at them with questioning eyes, as she recognized them as Jungkook. She gazed around to find a specific figure but frowned when she failed. One of the main guards spoke formally, grabbing her attention. Bose respectfully, "Luna, we are here to protect you." "Who sent you?" inquired suspiciously. Beta Sukchin, looking to the ground. "Where is your alpha?" Disappointed tone. They remained silent, making her lose her cool. "I asked you something," approached him. "Alpha is not with us," still looking down in fear. "What? Where is he?" glaring at guards. "We got to know that Wang Liam has returned. Alpha went to finish him but did not return yet. And Wang Pak is attacking Jones' territory, so we have been told to keep you safe." Vine felt as if her soul had left her body. She trembled as she imagined herself never seeing her Jungkook again. But her rage overcame her fear and she decided to fight for her love. She was determined to get Jungkook back safely. She took a step towards the main door but was interrupted by the guards. "Luna, you're not allowed to go out because your security is in threat. It's Beta's command," respectfully spoke. "Jeon Pak cares for me. I appreciate that. But as Jeon's Luna, I also have some responsibilities. I can't stand by and watch my pack be destroyed. In Alpha's absence, Luna is responsible for the pack's safety, and if you stop me, then you are my enemy." Gave him a dangerous gaze as her eyes turned red. Everyone shivered at Vine's cold and strict aura, and no one dared to make eye contact with her. She made her way back to the door and no one dared to stop her this time. She stepped out the door and heard heavy footsteps of June guards. She tilted her head slightly and raised an eyebrow at them. "Just order us, Luna. We stand by you." Boss. Vine smiled briefly after witnessing their bravery and loyalty, but her expressions quickly turned cold as she looked ahead. "Take me to the banks." On the other side, a man with his head down on the wooden chair, covered in his own and sweat, was sitting semi-conscious. He woke up with a jerk when someone harshly splashed boiling water on his face, followed by a jaw-breaking hit on his cheek with a bat. He threw up but laughed sarcastically. "Weak. Try harder," mocked them. "You really want death." Got infuriated due to JK's behavior. "Yes, not mine, but yours," Van Liam smirks as drips from the corner of his lips. "Huh?" scoffed. "Do you really forget what I did to your mother?" His expressions darkened. "I did not. That's why I'm here." Tone went deep and cold. Liam laughed as he found Jungkook funny at this moment because JK's words and condition did not match. Liam had captured Jungkook after attacking him in one of his palaces, but he did not realize that no one can capture Jungkook unless Jungkook wants it. "Take a look at yourself, dear Alpha. Your life is at my mercy," threatened Jungkook. "Are you sure you are a true wolf, Liam?" Smirks. "As far as I know, the real ones don't attack from behind and then hide like cowards," provokes him. clenched his teeth. Don't be concerned about me. If you are a true one, then try to break this chain and fight back. Lean forward and smirk while looking at JK's soaked face. Within a split second, the tables turned. Liam was on the ground and was getting mercilessly beaten up by JK. It happened so fast that even Liam guards could not comprehend what was going on, and by the time they were ready to attack Jungkook, Liam was half dead from Jungkook's blows. The basement door suddenly broke and burst into pieces. A fully armed, tall, muscular army of guards burst in and attacked the Liam guards without giving them a chance to gather themselves. Jungkook paused for a moment and smirked while looking at the main person with his guards. Please continue the holy work. It's quite entertaining. Gestured Jungkook to continue his on Liam. After a few minutes, Jungkook stood up straight and looked around, only to meet the lifeless bodies of Liam guards in the pool of their own. He faced Jin and spoke. She said, I've sent our most powerful and loyal guards to protect her. But little did they know that their stubborn winner was on a different mission. Suddenly, Jungkook groaned loudly as he felt on his shoulder. Liam had attacked Jungkook from behind so sneakily that even Jin could not catch him before. Jungkook grabbed Liam's wrist in his bone-crushing grip and turned around with a jerk. Liam's grip loosened automatically and he screamed in pain. When Jungkook tightened his grip around his wrist with every passing second. Jungkook clenched his jaws and fixed his pretty red eyes on Liam. You can never get rid of your habit of attacking from behind, can you? Twisted his wrist and causing him to yelp in pain and crunch down to the ground. Old habits never die, but you surely can. Saying this, Jungkook harshly pushed Liam to the other side of the room and he crashed with chairs and banged. Liam growled and attempted to stand, but Jungkook grabbed his collars again and threw him like a rag doll to the other side of the room, causing him to hit the wall and collapse on the ground. Jin and all the June guards stood quietly witnessing Jungkook's beast mode. Jungkook grabbed Liam again and repeatedly banged his head against the wall before grabbing his hair and dragging him out of the basement. Everyone followed him out. On the way out, Jungkook finally felt satisfied after looking at the defeated vanguards on the ground. Jungkook kept walking while dragging unconscious Liam out into the void. Wang's clothes were torn apart and every part of his body when Jungkook dragged him on the unlevered thorny cliff. Jungkook gestured his guards and they splashed water on Liam in order to wake him up. Wicked princess, time to experience. From the same cliff you pushed my mother off. Kneels down and faced Liam as he glared at him while smirking devilishly. Liam's eyes widened in horror and he tried to break free from Jungkook's grip. But when he failed, he joined his trembling hand in front of JK and begged for mercy. Please, Alpha, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to win against you. You are our relative now. What will Vine think after getting to know that you ended her uncle? Blabbered nonsense in order to save himself from Jungkook's wrath. My Vine? She will be proud of me. Smirks and punches him on the nose. And that's for taking my Vine's name from your filthy. Stating this, Jungkook stood up while grabbing trembling, weak and crying Liam from his collars. He jerked Liam to his feet and sat before pushing him off the cliff. And that's to provide peace to my mother's soul. Someone said right. Revenge is best served cold. Jungkook coldly gazed at Liam, who was falling down from the cliff while screaming on the top of his lungs, probably for the last time. Jungkook turned around to go back, but halted his step and gazed at Jin when he spoke. Where are we going now? Wang's palace? Shakes his head in denial. To my Luna. Time to knock some sense in her. Smiled slightly and started walking ahead while putting his hand in his pocket. Time skip. Jungkook jeeps pulled up in front of Wang's palace and he came out, followed by his guards. He walked straight inside like the king he is, but one of the headmaids ran up to him, bowed and immediately asked him, Alpha, are you back with Luna? Worriedly asked while trying to take a peek behind him. Why would she be with me? Frowned and looked around. And where are the guards I sent here? His tone turned dangerously cold and threatening. Gulped and trembled in fear and worry. Alpha, she took the guards and went to the Wangs after getting to know that you are in danger. Lowered her gaze to the ground. Jungkook did not feel even 1 ounce of fear when he was in the captivity of his enemies, but when he learned that Wine was in danger, he felt like it's his end. He ordered the guards to follow him and ran back with the speed of light. On the other side, Wine's POV. Our jeep came to a halt in front of Wang's territory and we stepped out. Jeon guards surrounded me, protecting me from any possibility. We were about to proceed when Wang guards attacked us directly. Jeon guards ceased the attack immediately and I spoke before any brutal fight could erupt. I'm here to negotiate with you. He calmly spoke as if the unwelcoming environment had no effect on him. He does not want to talk to anyone. Is he scared? Calmly asked. Why would he be scared? Triggered. Because he knows that his time is running out. Smirked slightly as she spoke confidently, as if she is certain of her prediction. Oh dear, who will end me? Let me see the face of that non-existent person. Spoke loudly and sarcastically as he approached Wine with quick steps. Surprise. Indeed, that's a surprise, but not a pleasant one. You came to negotiate from June's side, our enemy's side, your enemy's side. The same enemies you sent me to. Some sacrifices must be made in order to protect our people. It was your responsibility as their first daughter. Daughter? Acted surprised. Please no, I'm only June's Luna, Jungkook's wife and mate, nothing else. You can't change the fact that you have my blood running in your veins. That's why I hate myself. His expressions became stoic. Come to my side, Wine, we can destroy Junes together. Chuckled sarcastically. Bold of you to assume that I will support backstabbers. Her eyes shone red, remembering her mother's condition. Okay then, shrugged his shoulders. I gave you the last chance to save yourself. Saying this, he gestured his vanguards, and they attacked Wine and her guard. The June guards did their best to protect Wine, but the vanguards outnumbered the Junes. Wine's claws were already out and she was bravely seizing the attacks, but she stumbled to the ground when a heavy wolf jumped on her out of nowhere, her own father. Looks like he was not joking about wanting to end her. Wine tried to fight him off and get him off of her, but he was injuring her badly with his sharp claws. June guards tried to help Wine but were stopped by vanguards. Wine gathered her strength and finally pushed him off of her and stood up. She was bleeding from everywhere. She shook her head to maintain her focus, but the man she used to call Dad pushed her with such a force that her body collided with a tree and she collapsed. She groaned in pain and her eyes were closing automatically, but when she remembered why she came to fight, only one word escaped her bleeding lips. She tried to stand up again, but when she saw her father coming towards her, still in his wolf form, she took it as a challenge and changed into her wolf form and roared loudly. Everyone shivered on their spots, and the father's eyes widened upon witnessing wine in her wolf form for the first time. Everyone was taken aback by her enormous size and enchanting yet dangerous aura. She stepped forward to attack, and her father came to the reality and attacked her straight away. But Vian fought back without taking into account that this man is her relative. They rolled on the ground to take an upper hand in the fight and injured each other without any mercy. Wang Doyan led Vian to the cliff beneath which a river flowed. His plan was to push Vian off of the cliff and into the river. It soon began to rain cats and dogs, but their fight did not end because Vian possessed extraordinary strength and power, which shocked Doyan as well. He pushed Vian to the ground and wrapped his claws around her neck, digging his nails into her skin and squeezing her. Vian returned to her human form due to pain, while he remained in his full form. Her eyes welled up in tears as she choked and struggled to breathe. She repeatedly pushed and punched him, but he was adamant on finishing the two. Vian sneakily grabbed a rock and smashed it against his head, causing him to release his grip for a split second, and she inhaled a sharp breath while coughing. But he soon grabbed her neck again and continued suffocating her. Vian growled loudly, widely opened her red eyes and pushed him off with all her might, unaware that they were on the top of the cliff. Jeon rolled down the cliff and fell, but before he could fall freely, he grabbed the rock with his claws and transformed into his human form while screaming. How can you do this with me, Vian? I'm your father. Save me. Struggling to keep hold of the rope. Vian just sat blankly on the cliff, looking at his hanging figure with tears in her eyes. What are you looking at? Give me your hand. Pull me up. Extended his free hand for Vian to grab. Mother came to me. She was bleeding from the back. Someone had mercilessly. She took her last breath in my lap. Her eyes welled up with tears as she sobbed uncontrollably while looking at him. I don't know who did that. Just pull me up, we will talk later. Desperately tried to keep his balance. You obviously know who did that. You know the person, because the sinner was you. Gulped painfully and ran her hand through her hairs, frustrating her. Jungkook, I made him. She sighed deeply and mumbled softly. Vian stood up on her feet and turned around after saying, have a safe trip to hell. She was about to walk away, but she felt someone's grip on her ankle. Jeon had come up a little. He was going to come up using Vian as a support and push her after, or he was going to take her down with him. Vian gasped and stood stiff on her place because moving would cause her to lose her balance and fall. Nevertheless, Jeon gave a harsh jerk to her ankle and she lost her balance. She screamed loudly as she was about to fall, but two strong arms caught her just on time. She looked at that person's face and hugged him tightly as if he would vanish if she let him go. I missed you, cried while tightening her grip around him. Jungkook smiled softly but did not show her and replied to her. Instead, he grabbed Vian's waist and pulled her more into him while kicking Doyoung's arms away, causing Doyoung to lose his grip on Vian's ankle and fall into the river with a loud thud. Vian looked at Jungkook's face with her eyes wide open in shock and terror, but soon she lost her remaining strength and collapsed.